All right, everyone. Welcome to Left Hooks Are Free, where right hooks are always half off. Just remember, timestamps are always in the description. I am joined with Husky Messiah on a lovely Thursday. This is where our week ends and yours begins on Friday, possibly Saturday. You'll figure it out. Um, we got a pretty big show lined up. We got college hoops, we got NFL news, we got combat sports, and we got just some bullshit. Let's start off with some birthdays. Happy birthday to Andy Reid, coach of the where's he coach now? The Chiefs. That's right.
Big Patty Mahomes.
You could have had more Super Bowls than you have, but you don't. Tom Brady is a man. Bruce Willis. We all should know who Bruce fucking Willis is, and I already cussed. There we go. Number one on the day. And I know there's somebody out there, and he's saying, hashtag me too. But you're a piece of shit, Harvey Weinstein. Happy birthday. Hope you die. All right.
In hot.
Let's start off with the trivia. Let's see if you can get this one. Where was the 1993 Super Bowl played?
1993. That was a good year. I don't remember that year, but I remember it being
No,
good.
you were 2 years old, or maybe 3.
I would have been 3.
You're 3 years old.
I want to say because of that, and the fact that I'm a Capricorn, and Mercury may or may not be in retrograde during that trimester. I'm gonna go with Tampa, Florida.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you're wrong, and we'll get to the answer later. All right, so we had a pretty big week. I'm trying a new thing with paper, so this will be interesting. That way I don't have to, scroll through shit. Stimulus checks came out. All of you should have $1,400, unless you make too much money. And then thank you for your taxes. You guys need to give me my money. But I did have a thought. I had a thought yesterday when I was coming up with our segments. I don't feel like I necessarily needed stimulus money, but in the time of coronavirus, they could have made me feel a whole lot better if they gave me presents.
Okay.
Stimulus presents. Something to, just keep me happy. And I was thinking, what would I want for $1,400 worth of presents? So I have a little lineup for you, and I'm going to ask you. You have 3 choices, right? Let's be, let's consider that the government is your lovely grandma who knows you best and may or may not give you one of these 3 things that's right around $1,400. All right, so you ready?
Yes, sir.
So would you rather have $1,400 worth of Jordans? You get any sneaker that drops this upcoming year, and you always get it.
Is that $1,400 worth of retail or resale?
Retail.
Ooh, that's okay.
Right? Courtside seats from the Elite 8 all the way through the championship. Or sit ringside at, and this is the key, UFC 265, in which we have no clue who's fighting on it.
Oh, that's tough. That's real tough.
I knew it would be. I brainstormed this.
Well, I think I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna walk you through my thought here. $1,400 worth of retail Jordans. That's less. That's only like 6 pairs, maybe 5, depending on the tax. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say not that one.
$1,400. That's You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? NCAA basketball. I've been there. I've done the national championship thing. Sitting courtside would be amazing, but I've kind of been there into a sense. So I'm definitely going ringside, UFC 265. Am I in close enough distance if I yell at Daniel Cormier that he'll hear me?
UFC 2. I had a feeling that you were gonna choose that. I didn't know if you were gonna take the Jordans of your choice over the upcoming year because
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's a pair on your list coming out next month,
Indeed.
Raging Bull Fives, his Grail pair, and I know that he's really into resale as well, so he'd have an opportunity to get some possible fire. Um,
Get some of that stimmy back.
So, moment of the week this week: Drew Brees retired after 20 years in the NFL. Super Bowl MVP, 13-time Pro Bowler, the only person to sit over 80,000 passing yards, and the fastest person ever to 70,000 passing yards. The
Impressive.
caveat to that is Tom Brady hasn't retired, and he's number 2 on the list, and he's less than 1,000 yards away from that all-time record. So, it's pretty safe to say that the GOAT will be the GOAT in almost all categories. My question to you is, where does he sit on your list of all times?
Mr. Drew Brees?
Yeah.
Dang.
This is I'm asking myself this question because this is a toughie.
This is a tough one because, Drew Brees is one of those guys that really lines up with our generation. You know what I mean? We've kind of watched him enter and progress as we've grown. So it's weird to think that there won't be any more Drew Brees in the league after this anymore. So that's a little odd. But if I'm doing my top list, for me personally, he's got to be top 5. I can't think of many others I'd put above him. If I'm talking about like players I've seen, people I've had the opportunity to witness in my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I have a hard so I choose to often evaluate players based off of performance and talent. And like how they play. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that makes sense.
he has the one Super Bowl, but the issue with that is that obviously he played during the same time as in my book 2 GOATs, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. So how good was he as a singular quarterback, as one person on the field? And I think that's how I think that's the best way to look at it. So 6 foot tall Drew Brees, too short for the NFL. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
He was accurate as hell, and he liked to throw the ball. I got him top 5, probably number 5, maybe number 4, because I think Joe Montana gets too much credit for what he is.
Facts.
Joe Montana was great for his era, but you have to remember, Joe Montana. These guys didn't sling it like they sling it now.
No.
The
It's a different
level
game
of
back then.
football IQ that you have to operate with as a quarterback in this day and age is not the same. But I'm not going to hold that all the way against him because he was the best quarterback of that era, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's really hard not to put other people in the conversation. It's really hard to not say that Big Ben is up there in my book.
Big Ben's definitely in my top 5.
So, like I said, it's hard because you got Tom and you got Peyton for sure, and then it gets real weird after that.
Yeah, it kind of opens up at that point.
But he finished off his year at the Saints, and looks like Jameis Winston is somewhat the man there now. We had a few quarterback signings. Fitzmagic signed with Washington, the Washington football team. Andy Dalton went to Chicago. Cam Newton is back at the Pats. My question to you is, which one would you rather have? Because this is the lineup of the turdiest of the turds, and you guys will not believe, anybody who knows me will not believe who I would pick on that list.
Well, because of that, I think you're talking about Cam Newton, because that'd be the last person I'd expect you to pick on that list. But
I
that's
would
also
take
who
Cam.
I'm picking. Yep, that's where I was going.
Only because Cam's ceiling is so damn high.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking at Jameis Winston, Mr. 30 for 30. That's 30 TDs and 30 interceptions in a season. As much as I like Fitz, Mr. Harvard grad, I just don't. His ceiling isn't high enough. And Andy Dalton. He may win you. I think Andy Dalton can win you about 4 games as of now. Unless
Facts.
you have just some raw dudes on your team.
Even then, like, you know what I mean, look at all those years at Cincinnati when he had weapons. What really happened? Nothing.
Well, one of his weapons recently signed on to a team that is getting rather stacked. Did you see where AJ Green went?
Oh yeah, he's back down there in Arizona with them Cardinals.
The Cardinals they're bulking up.
Oh, they're deep now, both ends of the ball.
I think they'll make it past. I think they'll make it into the wild card game. That's where I know they're going to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I don't know. My concern with the Cardinals is they're deep on defense, they're deep on offense, they're stout. Kyler Murray shows these moments of like being the potential to be an elite level quarterback one day, despite how little he is out there. I just don't know.
This is the year that is going to tell a lot.
Oh yeah, if you don't show me something this year, then I'm done with y'all. You know what I mean? It's either him or it's the coaching staff.
Well, they lost Patrick Peterson to the Vikings. He gone, but Patrick Peterson has been 1 foot out the door for a little while. So,
exactly.
I'm not particularly worried about them. I still think that they need that running game. They need to get they still need to get as much of the load off of Kyler Murray as they can, and I think they're really helping them out by signing 2 tall wide receivers that can just go get up and go get it. But you only got AJ Green for about 6 games before he gets turf toe or something.
Yeah, I had him on my fantasy team last year, and his hamstring just made him not even worth having.
It's always something with AJ. It's always something. Always. He drives me nuts. He's such a talented individual, but he's built out of paper and glass. I finished the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO Max, and it was that 2-part one where they talk about a sex scandal and everything else, and you just can't deny how incredibly good that man was within his career and still is. He's back at home now. That's the big news from the Tiger Woods department.
Hey.
I did not know that he won the 2008 U.S. Open on a broken leg. Did you know
Really?
that?
I did not. Is that open knowledge? Like, was that put out there?
Yeah. So he had a double fracture in his leg because his ACL was gone.
Damn.
And he won the 2008 U.S. Open.
So you're telling me he has no ACL and he's putting all that torque and all that shift and them power ass fucking shots.
His caddy said that he hit one where he was on the cart path. I think this is how the story goes. He hit one and his foot shifted out on him, and his caddy said, and I heard it pop. And he said, Tiger, I think it's time to pack it up. And he said, Tiger looked at me and he said, sorry about the curse words. He said, fuck that, I'm winning this thing.
And that's why he's Tiger Woods, and that's why we all love him. Because those Tiger moments.
I mean, God, there's just so many. It's just, his downfall with all the mistresses and stuff. It's what's really sad about that whole thing is like we lost sight of the golf.
Well, not even just the golf of the legacy. Like Tiger, like transcended golf. You know what I mean? Like
he was on a run when that came out too.
He made golf cool.
Tiger was the man.
Oh yeah.
And what's one of the most memorable things about Tiger Woods that you have in your life? I'll tell you what mine is after you're done.
I got you. Well, for me personally, I went to the Firestone tournament there in Akron one time, and we seen like the crowd shifting, and I was like, I'm gonna go get ahead of the crowd by a couple tee boxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't aware of like it was a last minute ordeal. Didn't plan on going. Kind of like that night before, like, all right, we're gonna go up, we're gonna do this. So I didn't really have any research. I didn't know who's gonna be where, who's teeing off at what time, right? So we go out to this tee box and we're just posted up chilling. I'm like, I'm gonna see who comes next. You know what I mean? And I'm like right in the center back at the rope at the tee box. And then this huge like herd of turds just starts meandering their way over. And I'm like, ooh, must be somebody. Like, it's somebody legit. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm sitting there. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Tiger Woods. I was like, oh shit, that's Tiger Woods. And he's coming, and I'm starting to like sweat and getting a little fanboy. I'm like, that's Tiger Woods. And then like somebody tees off. I can't even remember. And then he tees off. He sets the ball up, and he comes walking straight back, and he's walking back, and he's walking right at me because I'm in the middle by the rope. I'm like, he's getting so close. He walks all the way up to the rope, and I'm like, he's going to walk like into the rope. He's still like zoned out, like lining everything, and I touched him. And he said, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. And that's probably my personal greatest Tiger Woods moment because I got to touch the man. No homo.
So I would say that my biggest moment with him was when he chipped that one in on the Masters and it rolled all the way down the hill, and I was watching that one live. And going into that Sunday, it was just like you had that feeling that Tiger was going to win that thing.
Oh,
and yeah, but what really stuck out about Tiger Woods with me was his presence among his audience, right? Tiger was everywhere, to include hanging out with strippers. Tiger was everywhere, kind of like Michael Jordan was everywhere. And one of the places where Tiger really struck gold was the Tiger Woods video games, which I played so long that my fingers would actually form calluses.
Damn.
I played, I think, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004, the one where, you know, it has him over St. Andrews, the bridge, and it's got that stupid rock song, Make Me a Superstar. I fucking loved that game, man.
I think that might have been the best version, if I'm being honest. That was my favorite.
My God, I would play St. Andrews until I went like 22 under. I'd be pissed if I didn't.
Just cracking that shit to the gate.
And big news is Tiger Woods is returning to video games. Tiger Woods will be in the 2K series, the PGA Tour 2K. Tiger Woods is making his comeback. Say goodbye to Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour because Tiger is back.
Now, answer me this: if you know, are we getting like current Tiger, or are we gonna go like legacy mode, and we gonna get like current Tiger, old Tiger, this Tiger?
I don't think they're gonna end up putting Tiger back on the ice course, and you're gonna have to beat Stuart Appleby and all those dudes. I mean, those days are gone. But
I mean, we can dream.
You know, remember the Predator courses and all those things. You know, you'd be out there and it'd be growling at you. Oh man, those were such good days. I miss playing those. I've played the one on the Xbox a little bit. Also, big news in the video game department: MLB The Show is coming to Xbox. Which, if you guys own PlayStations, you have been graced with the best baseball game that they make, and I'm so glad that they're bringing it to the Xbox because your boy is going to be locked in and swinging for the fences.
Yo, we've tweaked some hours on that game.
Yeah, they do such a good job at making it take a long time to get to the show, and I love it. I can't wait. That comes out April 20th, so get your $60 ready.
Get you. Oh, you need 100 for that because it's April 20th. You don't need 60 for the game and 40 for a fucking track.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, what are you gonna do all day? You gonna go grab you a copy of the show, hit your local fucking weed man, copy a couple dime bags, crack a couple blunts, a couple Gatorades, pack of gum, and get your Uber Eats ready and just sit there all day and just have you a beautiful day.
So, I'm not going to do that.
Oh no,
But
not you. That's not for you.
April 20th, if I'm off, I'll probably be playing the show. I definitely want that game. I have so much fun doing that. You ready for this trivia answer? And I'll tell you why it's relevant.
Yeah, what you got for me?
So it was played in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, but that
Oh,
wasn't where it was supposed to be played. Now remember, this is 1993, 1993. That's not that long ago.
mm-mm.
It was supposed to be played in none other than Sun Devil Stadium in Arizona.
Ooh, okay. What happened?
Apparently, Arizona decided not to participate in Martin Luther King Day,
Really?
and it was boycotted enough to where they had to move it. I was like, huh, I did not even know that happened.
What is the context that they were like, no, we ain't doing that?
So it started out from what I read, something to do with the way it was legislated got messed up, and I think it was the governor or a senator or somebody, some dipshit. I didn't read that far into it. I just read that, you know, people were
Mm,
pissed. But
rightfully
he
so.
said something stupid. He said that they need to basically, he said that they need to go get jobs. And apparently, King's daughter or why I can't remember which one. See, I didn't do all this research. I just was like,
No,
I didn't expect you to actually ask me these questions. But
who cares?
yeah, obviously, she was like, I'm gonna spearhead a movement that you're gonna get fucked over this.
Yeah.
I think that's number 4. Um,
We keeping a fuck counter because that's 5.
yeah, I'm just having fun with it at this point. We might do an episode to see how many I can get in there, audio only, because YouTube might not like that. Uh,
Mm-mm.
let's break the record for a podcast. Yeah, man, I thought that was really interesting. Um, I think MLK Day is an underrated holiday. I
Oh,
love that I
big
get a day
facts.
off. Speaking of the over under, did you bring me some over unders today?
Oh yes, sir. Let me grab these for you.
All
I
right.
have I got a couple interesting ones on here, and
Okay.
I think one's fairly relative, given that we might have a drop coming up, but we'll talk about that later. Let me. Ooh,
All right.
Oh, technical difficulties. Bear with me for a second. Freestyling it. First one, the Yeezy Boost sneaker by Mr. Khan Yeezy himself. Overrated, underrated.
Yeezys. I think Yeezys are now, right now. Man, that's a toughie because they're losing clout, which is good.
I feel like they're
I still
finally
think
getting to where they should have been.
they're a tad. I think they're still a tad overrated. And we'll get to that in the next segment.
Okay.
I think they're still overrated because I have a little droplets of news on Yeezys. Um,
Ooh.
nothing big. Just
Okay.
I'll just tell you guys right now. The Yeezy Runner RNNR capitals, those ugly ass look like Yeezy Crocs. That's what we should call them. Uh,
Trash.
they're coming out 3/26, so on the 26th, along with the Bacon Air Maxes,
Oh, I mess with
which those are pretty fly. Those are the choice you should make, and they're actually about what, $500 cheaper on resale.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Smooth easy.
so Yeezys, I still think are overrated because shoes like that are still reselling for right around $750, which is far too expensive for what they are. Um, which is trash. I think Yeezys are trash. If you wear Yeezys, you cannot tell me that you actually think they look good. You can't. You can't tell me they look good. Even those Red October, the Nike ones, looked like trash.
Oh, they were loud, and they were like They had all the hype, but let's be honest, they was ugly as hell.
They were trash.
Mm-hmm.
Hype beasts. Hype beast was a bad thing, kids. It's a
All
bad
these
thing.
suburban white kids going to the mall over there in Scottsdale, blowing up the hype for no fucking
You know what?
reason.
I'm going to shout out Derek Carter again real quick because Derek Carter actually taught me something about being a sneakerhead early on. Derek Carter wears Griffies. And you know
I
what?
fuck with
I went
Griffies.
to Griffey's I went to Champs a few weeks ago, and Griffey's were still on the shelves. And you
Mhm.
know what? That says a lot about you, Derek Carter. That it's not about the clout behind the shoe; it's the fact that you like the shoe, and that's why you get them.
I mean, that's what it should really be about. That's the other thing too is I hate is when like sneakerheads stack up all these sneakers. They flex them on the gram. They flex them here. They flex them there. But they don't ever put them on their fucking feet, and they don't ever wear them anywhere. Like that's
Right.
cool. Wear your fucking shoes. Like why else are you going through all this? You know what I mean?
So on the 20th of March, Georgetown threes drop, and I don't know if you saw those, but those are fly.
You like those?
But I like Georgetown for one, and I like the colors that Georgetown is the navy and the gray.
Oh, see, that's where you
I
lose
like
me.
that colorway.
I don't like the navy blue. That's not my jam.
See, I like the Georgetown 11s, the lows. I like Georgetown's colors, man.
I feel you.
So that ends my sneaker news.
Ooh, I
What's
got
your
it.
number two on the over under? What you got?
All right, number 2 over under, generational talent, voice of an era, Mr. T Pain.
T Pain.
Shawty.
T Pain was
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
overrated when I was a kid.
Are you sure
T
about that?
Pain. I could not stand T Pain. I hated T Pain. I hated him. I can't stand him. And that little,
Well, that's a
a
terrible
little,
song.
the T Pain moment that I actually liked was when Kevin Hart rap battled him as Chocolate Drop.
Chocolate dropper.
I actually uttered a line from that Kevin Hart little thing, that comedy bit when I was at darts. I was playing in Dart League the other night, and I was talking trash to this dude, and I said, I said, I'm so comfortable around you, I'm about to start wearing sweats. Because that was one of my favorite lines that Kevin Hart said. He says, I'm wearing sweats because I'm comfortable around you.
That's wild. I mean, but like you gotta think about T Pain in our generation. Like that was cheek clapping music. Cuddy Buddy, Shouty, Chopped and Screwed. These are all getting buns music.
You have to remember, I didn't get buns during the time of T-Pain, all right? So
I feel
I'm
like
just going
that's
to go ahead
weighing.
and let everybody know that I was listening to, what was I listening to at that time? I actually went through my string of rock music during that time.
Oh, you listen to angry music.
I wasn't listening to anything particularly angry, but yeah, I wasn't listening to T-Pain, that's for sure. Because that was like right. Lil Wayne was still doing stuff then though, so probably a
Yeah.
little bit of Lil Wayne, but I wasn't a huge fan of him either.
Oh,
Not
fuck,
back then.
bro.
I liked Lil Wayne more, like Carter 2, and
That's-
then like I liked all the other stuff way later.
Yeah, Carter 2 is, I think, the best Lil Wayne album ever put out. But, you know, that's kind of on the back end of that same type of generation. But I just remember T-Pain very vividly. Like, you know, I mean, that's the music you hear at the parties, when you go places, like in the car, when you're trying to get a little happening.
Not for me. Still wouldn't
No.
do it.
Oh, I still do it now. I was listening to T-Pain yesterday. I was listening to Cuddy Buddy in the car coming back from getting some food. I was like, go ahead and sing me that song, you thick man.
No.
Shout out to all my thick boys out there.
I hated T-Pain. My recruiter loved the T-Pain auto tune. Shout out to Marcus Harvey, coolest recruiter ever. He's still like semi lied to me, but that's fine. That's his job.
That's a name that sounds like you've either killed people or touched someone inappropriately. I'm just gonna be honest about that.
Marcus Harvey.
Marcus Harvey.
I, for the amount of like his YouTube channel, Joe Cypher, uh, his pretty comedic, BET Cribs, impressions or whatever the hell they were, impersonations, boxing in the street.
Ooh.
Uh, he rolled through in the Cadillac CTS, man. Like that guy didn't even bat an eye about me in the recruiting office calling somebody out. I was on the phone telling people to run up uh, in the recruiting
Bah.
office. Who Harley and I can't remember his name. He's actually not. I actually hung out with him now. He was actually kind of cool. Uh, One of my buddy Colby's homies, and they were trying to beat up my buddy Aaron. They were like, "Where's he at?" And I said, "I'm on Monte Vista right now, and I'm gonna be walking home. You can come find me." That's what I said.
I'm gonna be
And
walking, son.
my recruiter just was like, "All right," like, sounds good. Like he didn't even care.
I'm a Monte Vista mile marker 31 kid. Pull up. I might be in mile marker 32 by the time you get here. Depends where you're coming from.
While Aaron Farrell, my buddy in high school, was laid up in his house because he was too scared to leave because he was afraid of getting jumped, I was in my recruiting office telling people to run up. So that was the difference between you and I. Ah,
Mr.
how
Farrell.
fun it was to be 128 pounds and really, really stupid, because I definitely would have got ran up on if they had, and probably got my ass beat.
I mean, this
That's
is where I
fine.
think I gotta say I've always admired your spirit for that moment right there. You're like, I don't mind if you're bigger or if you're this or if you're that. You're like, what's your little go-to mottos? Like, you can whoop my ass, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna fucking shoot you. That's
That was
Aiden.
later on in life, when my threats got more obscene. Um, was what did I say? I said to somebody, I said, "You better whoop my ass enough to where I can't move my index finger." Is what I said. uh, was that it for the over under, or did you have one more for me?
I got one more for you, and I feel
All
like
right.
this one's about to hit home for you personally in your household. Shout out to Big
Okay.
Mac.
All right.
Over under Chick-fil-A, aka the
Ooh.
Lord's Chicken.
Chick-fil-A. Man, if you had said In and Out, you might have had a good spiel, but I'm gonna go appropriately rated. The hype is real. Chick-fil-A is incredibly good and worth the wait. Chick-fil-A service is outstanding. They're mostly fast for how busy they are. That spicy chicken sandwich, not in the same reference that my boy Troy Bryant used to use it. Um, that's a sidebar conversation only some of you will get. But the
Ooh.
spicy chicken sandwich as a product is fantastic. I love it. Go get the Lord's Chicken if it's near you. Just don't go on Sundays, and don't try to be employed there if you're gay, which is the problem with Chick-fil-A. That's it. How do you feel about Chick-fil-A?
Well, first off, I'd like to say shout out to Mr. Troy Bryant because I like all them spicy chicken sandwiches.
Uh,
If you feel me, I
so
honestly though,
there's only about 5 people on this planet that know that reference,
that's the way I
and we're
like it.
never gonna tell you. That's the funny thing.
I'm taking that one to the grave, kid.
That's
But
it.
but as far as Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich, it's an amazing sandwich. Give you that service. Too nice. Don't like it. Y'all creep me the fuck out. Why are there 13 of you in the driveway? I pulled up the other day. First time I've ever pulled and did the drive-through at Chick-fil-A my whole life. I was with moms. Shout out to moms. There was like 13 motherfuckers in the parking lot for 3 cars, and it still took 10 minutes to get the food. And I'm like, and the food's pricey. This shit ain't cheap either. So in my
y'all,
mind,
y'all Chick-fil-A messing up.
well, yeah, I mean it's Ohio. Everybody not happy about being outside. It was cold as hell then too. But I feel like it's overrated when I weigh in those factors of like the price, the service, the wait, the line, the fact that they don't fuck with no gay people. I love gay people, pause. And it's just when I add in all these, it it trumps the fact that the sandwich tastes good. Like I can go to Wendy's to get a spicy chicken sandwich that's not that much worse with the less hate.
Yeah, I get where you're at. Yeah, it's weird. The two big franchises that you're guaranteed to have a line.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've almost never been there. Well, there's three franchises that there's almost always a line, and that would be In and Out, Chick-fil-A, and Starbucks.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll sit in that In and Out line
Starbucks.
all day, kid. Though that's different.
It's funny. Trevor Lawrence made a video of somebody capping on In and Out, and it was hilarious, man. And he's talking crap. He's like, "Did you have the secret sauce?" He goes, "It's Thousand Island."
It's Thousand
Because
Island fucking dressing.
he says it's Thousand Island in a Go-Gurt pack is what he said, or something
Dang.
like that.
He's not wrong though.
I know, it's funny. And Trevor's like, "Did Chick-fil-A send you?"
My thing though is the first time I had In and Out with you when I came out to Modesto or where the hell we was at, Scaryville. I didn't
Shout
know
out
about.
Modesto.
I didn't know.
You came out to visit me. We were in Sacramento.
Oh, we were in Sacktown.
Yeah,
Pull up in the Sacktown. Okay,
Roseville.
Roseville.
Yep.
That was it. You're right. But I just got the sandwich and the fries. Like, no one told me about animal style or all this other fucking nonsense. That's 11. So I was a hater. I was a hater for a long time. I'm like, this is like a dry ass fucking bland ass burger. Ain't nothing even fucking cooked on here except the meat and barely. And then like years went by and then everybody's like got sick of my hate and my shade. And they're like, have you even had animal style? I was like, what's that? And then I had some animal style fries and an animal style double kid. And I'm pretty sure I went to In and Out for a week fucking straight at that point. I was like, y'all didn't tell me about this. This is different.
See, I like the plain burger, just the double. Sometimes I would get it as a wrap, which is good as hell.
Yeah. Protein
Yeah, man.
style.
Protein style is good too. That's the nice thing about In and Out is that you have those options, but at the same time, you could make the argument that In and Out is still overrated.
Oh yeah, I could make that argument all day.
Yeah, I still love it. Let's switch lanes though. Let's get into the hoops. Myers Leonard, he was the topic of discussion. I drew a keikel around his name again. That's Yiddish for circle.
Skirting the line.
Hey, no, that's the appropriate use of the word, so I don't have a problem with it. You can't say that. It's a circle. Damn it.
Well, I've always argued that I use the R word appropriately, and people still get mad about that.
No. Like okay. If you were gonna say that something was slowed down, is that the way you're using the R word?
I was using it as essentially like in the reference I'm referring to. I was a young airman. Shout out to Barksdale Air Force Base. And I was talking to a colleague of mine, a friend of ours, the Birdman, a.k.a. John Gotti himself. And I merely asked him, after he did something that made me question his cognitive function, I said, "Sir, are you retarded?" And to which case, our supervisor got very, very upset and said that that's a hateful word and da-da-da. And then her child had autism and like basically lit me up. And being in the military, I can't do and or say anything about that. But in my mind, I was very upset because I used the word appropriately. I was merely wondering if this man had some sort of cognitive retardation, if you will. So when I said, "Are you retarded?" I just needed to know, because if you're retarded, I'll help you. But if not, you need to get your shit together, kid.
See, the R word does toe the line because we used it in the same form of "that's gay," right?
Yeah.
And we used it in that sense to basically say that someone who we know for sure is up to speed is acting as if they aren't. And that's the reason why you probably shouldn't do that, even though like that's still technically all right. I wouldn't put it on the same lines as me saying that I drew a keikel around something.
It just sounds wild when you say that, though.
It really does. But this is a wild show. Tell all your friends. But I drew a circle around his name because he got traded to Oklahoma City along with a
Ooh,
draft pick for Trevor, the Trev Ariza. I don't think that's his nickname, but I gave him one.
the
Um,
Trev, the
so
Trevster, the Trevor
uh,
Bruni.
he's out of Miami. He racist his way, anti-Semited his way,
He racist his way.
anti-assimilated. I can't come up with a fancy term for that. I can't even say the word.
Easy.
Um, Here we go. Also, another thing in hoop news. Some controversial stuff right here. Shaq and Candace Parker got into it. I don't know if you saw that.
I caught a little glimpse of that.
Um, and before we get into this, I would like to say that women's professional basketball is more in tune with what the purists of basketball would like to see. All right. At one time, the NBA weren't dunking either. So, it wasn't because they can't. It was because it was not allowed. Right? Wasn't it a rule that you weren't allowed to?
I,
Something stupid like
yeah,
that.
that's been way back in the day.
But Shaq suggested that, like volleyball, because the net is lower in women's volleyball apparently, that they lower the rim about 6 inches.
Hmm.
And Candace Parker said something incredibly stupid, right? And I am sorry to all you women out there, but a 10-foot rim is awful high. Um,
What
and
she
I
say?
and I can back this up. She said that in the future it won't be that way. That women will be dunking the basketball. She said that she'll have her daughters will be drop stepping and dunking the basketball.
Mm,
And I'm like, they gonna be 6'11"? Like, I'm sorry, but
I
that
don't.
ain't happening.
I don't know about
Ooh,
that one.
I just clipped, like all the lights in the house clipped.
You
That
still
was
good?
interesting. I think so. Um, Shout out to the weather in Indiana. It's on the way.
Oh, it's getting down out there,
Um,
kid.
Candace Parker said that, and I was like, no, they're not. I'm sorry, but the all-time leader in career dunks for the WNBA is Brittany Griner at 6'8". I believe she's 6'8" with 13. She's dunked the ball 13 times.
Mm.
That's your number one dunker of all time, as opposed to the NBA, where Dwight Howard has over 2,800 dunks in his NBA career.
And he don't start.
2,800. If you lower the rim by 6 inches, I still wouldn't be able to dunk. Okay, let's not act like there's a lot of dudes in the NBA that won't dunk. Okay, dunking is not an easy feat. You're not just
Okay.
gonna all of a sudden start drop stepping and two-hand jamming it. It's not gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry. Um,
And let
it's
me
it's
get this
really hard
straight.
to be that tall and that athletic.
Her argument is she wants to keep it at 10 feet because her daughters will be out here drop stepping and just macking them down.
She thinks that women's like the physicality that women have. She thinks that they're gonna get to the point to where they're dunking more often, which I could see occurring. Right? I think equipment will get better. I think athletic training will get better, and it has, but it's not.
I don't think that's a one generation thing. You know what I mean?
Not only that, I don't know how high, right? Because you get diminishing returns as you continue to go up, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any amount of technology that you could put in a sneaker within this lifetime to actually get it to where in my prime I could dunk.
Wait,
Um,
was it you that bought them shoes that one time? They're supposed to give you like spring and help you jump higher.
Yeah, the ones that they were banned. I bought
Yeah.
those. I decided the APL, the Athletic
Oh
Propulsion
yeah, that was
Labs
them. Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah.
I bought those, man. And you know what? And I did have like I was playing a lot of basketball during that time, so it's really hard to tell. But I did have a few moments where I got up there.
I remember. I remember one very specifically. We were. Correct me if I'm wrong. You had him for a while. You finally took him outside. We were at GCU hooping on the outdoor court, and I
Uh,
think you came through the lane. I don't know if we were playing. I think we were playing like a half court game, like 3-on-3 with some turds or something. And you went up for a rebound, and I remember being like, "Oh dang, like he don't jump that high," but you got up there. I was like, "Shit." I was starting to
um,
wonder. I was like, "Do these shoes actually work that well?"
I had my moment. The moment I was thinking of is I went up to go get a board. I dove through the lane because I love crashing the offensive glass,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in LA Fitness, and I landed on the dude on his like shoulder up here,
I
um,
think I remember this.
and he like caught me because he was a big dude, and I was like, what the fuck, because I actually almost fell. Like I felt unstable. Like I didn't get the board, and because I was like freaking out
Too
because
high.
I got some pop, and I was like, what the hell? And the random bounce is real, but I think it's something about the way that I push. Like there's something, I don't know if it's like the angle on my foot that doesn't allow me to do it or something, but those shoes, I had like, oh, you said you saw one time, but I had one time for sure that I was like, whoa, like what the hell? And
Mm-hmm.
even then, I might have been able to get like a knuckle over the rim. It wasn't like I was, so high that I'm about to yam on somebody.
Oh no, but
Um,
noticeable difference.
yeah, yeah. Not only that, but you have to remember too that you've noticed this. I can jump far, but I can't jump high, which is
That's
the really
facts.
weird part. Um, I can like, I for some reason I can't propel my body upwards. So
It's got to be the
it's
technique.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, Candace Parker, and thinking that she can all of a sudden dunk. We're making really good time today.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to her for thinking too that she can go up against Shaq Diesel. Like that dude ain't gonna like always win when it comes to the internet. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's just she. I think Shaq's right. That's the thing is I think Shaq is right. Like he was like, y'all do the step backs, y'all pull up threes, y'all do everything. You just don't dunk.
I mean, to be
You
fair,
just don't
like,
dunk.
are we? Is it really that big a deal to lower the rim a little bit? You're using a smaller ball. Like, it's already not same.
Remember this, I've suggested that like how fun it would be to have a rec league for
Yeah.
us like regular dudes that like hey
Six, 4.
nobody over like 6'4" is allowed in this league, and we're gonna lower it to 9. And
Ooh.
like my boy here, the Husky Messiah, would punch it at 9.
All day, kid. Hard.
No doubt, he'd be punching them in. It would be ridiculous, and I'd be able to hit a rim grazer at 9.
Exactly. The game would be a
So
little spicier to run fives at LA Fitness if it's 9 feet.
yeah, well, the problem is that people like you would get like so hype over the
Mm.
fact that you could do it, as you'd be breaking shit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pulling that rim off this thick ass body.
Yeah. Uh, all right, so we're gonna finish off the NBA with the fact that I was wrong about the Pelicans versus the Clips last week. It was a 135 to 115 game. The
Thank you.
Pelicans
Thank you.
beat the Clips. Zach Taylor called it. This week, my game of the week is March Madness. It is on Friday night at 7:10 Eastern Time on CBS. Number 8 North Carolina versus number 9 Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Um, I think that is the most interesting game I could find. That is after this podcast might come out.
Yeah.
Um, but we're gonna cover some of our bracket. We're gonna do the first 2 rounds because those are the rounds that are this week before we're gonna put out another show. Let's start off with the West. Any upsets on the West?
You said we're starting off on the West. Let me get on over
Let's,
here. For me, I didn't take any upsets. I guess if you wanted to call it upset, I considered Mizzou over Oklahoma, but in the last moment, I had to go with Oklahoma. Had to go with the old Plantation boys down there in Creighton. You know what I mean? There's nothing like when I look at the West that stands out that says it's worthwhile of me like rolling the dice. You know what I mean?
how about second round? Did you have any upsets in the second?
In the second, actually, I just lied to you. I have VCU over Oregon. A 10 over
I
7.
thought about that one. I still have Oregon winning. By the way, our brackets are locked in because we're giving each other our picks, so we can't change anything anymore.
No touchy.
Um,
Because you always have, for those of you out there that don't know, there's always a 7-10 upset. You know what I mean? Every year.
yeah, but this is about getting the most points in the bracket. So
I know. That's why I went with that one. But second round West, nothing too crazy. Everything appropriate. Like you'd say, I got Gonzaga smacking. I got UVA and Kansas, and then Iowa.
I got USC beating Kansas.
Oh,
I got USC beating Kansas.
What's the thought there? Talk to me.
That's I just look. I don't have all the information offhand, but I went really deep down the rabbit hole in the analytics.
Okay. So that's the thing too. I think we should point out to everybody is we don't have a lot to go off of, given that we've had a fucking Rona season with limited. Some teams played this amount of games. Some teams played this amount. Schedules have been weird. Players have been sitting. Games have been getting canceled. So that data, it's hard to like sift through what you would normally have to make these choices.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty casual when it comes to this basketball anyway. But I just, from what I saw, I think what it was is that USC tends to play a little bit faster, and I think that has a chance for an upset in and of itself. And that's all I had. So
that's gonna be a big diversion point for us because I kept on rolling with Kansas after that one too.
See, I have Iowa versus Gonzaga going into the Elite Eight.
Ooh,
So
right.
I stuck really traditional. Like I'll have a bracket buster here and there, but I'm probably going to end up having a lot of points late, which based on the scoring system is what I cared about.
Yeah, that's how you get that done.
So how about let's move to the East? Any first round upsets in the East?
Nothing too crazy. Had to go with Michigan, not even a chance. Roll with LSU down there. Colorado, Florida State. Oh, I did have a bit of an upset there. I'm expecting Michigan State to win the first 4 in, and I'm expecting them to upset your boys over there in Birmingham Young. Shout out to the Mormon folk. That's my big one.
So I have all the favorites in the first round. Second round, however, I have Florida State over Colorado, which is a 4/5, so that's not necessarily an upset. Then I have BYU beating Texas as well.
Ooh, another diverging point because that's where, obviously, I took BYU to lose in that first round, and I took Texas on after.
And my Elite Eight, I have Florida State versus I have Florida State beat Michigan as well.
Ooh, I got Texas
Florida
beat
State
Michigan
versus Alabama. That's who I have in my Elite Eight.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that one. That one's kind of wild.
Wrap my mind around that one.
Let's go to the South.
To the South. All right. Obviously, I got my boys over there, Ohio State, bringing them in. I did take another 10/7 upset with Virginia Tech. Had to do it. I think they played a deeper. They have more time on the court. That's basically all I'm going with. That is.
All right.
And then other than that, I went with like usual choices. I did take, the game of the week. I took Wisconsin over UNC.
I took that as well. And then I have Utah State beating Texas Tech
Oh,
as
okay.
well.
Interesting.
And then I have Arkansas moving on,
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State moving on, and I have Nova moving on over Purdue. And obviously Baylor. And then when I go to the Midwest, I got Georgia
Hey,
Tech.
as do I.
I got Georgia Tech, and then second round I have Houston beating Clemson, which is good to go. I have San Diego State beating West Virginia,
Oh,
and
you do?
Tennessee. I have Tennessee beating Oklahoma State.
Okay. You got them
Yep.
beating Oklahoma State? No, I took Oklahoma State to beat Tennessee, and I also took West Virginia all the way into the Sweet 16. Excuse me, I took West Virginia to my Elite Eight against Illinois.
Yeah, I have Houston versus Illinois.
So we have like one major diverging point in each section here.
Yeah. Um, I definitely made some weird calls, but like I said, I went through the analytics and just tried to find which teams had a shot at upsetting, and then went from there. I mean, nobody ever gets this thing right.
No, it's
Um,
usually some old lady who like let her cat pick the fucking thing by like how it pooped in the litter box. She'll end up winning the fucking bracket.
Pretty much. Um, yeah, and you got Gonzaga winning the whole thing.
I got Ohio State, baby, the Ohio State.
I'm not even. We're gonna cover that next week.
Seven.
We'll see. We'll see how Ohio State does in their first bid
Mhm.
against who the
Take
hell are they playing?
Take a little look, see. Oh, they're playing
against
some
turds,
bums.
right?
Yeah. Was Ohio
Oral
State's
Roberts.
2 seed.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they look after they play either Florida or Virginia Tech.
Hey, they almost took down Texas the other night. Don't forget.
Who?
Ohio State did. Almost.
Texas?
They almost took down Texas.
I have Texas losing their shit anyway because they piss me off.
Mm.
Now the bet, have we decided on are we doing one for sure, or are we doing an option? Is it an option, dress or tattoo, or is it for sure tattoo?
I would like to go with the hard forever choice and say tattoo.
All right. Well, I'm willing to go down that rabbit hole with you.
All right.
Let's see where this goes.
So
But yeah, game of the week. We both have Wisconsin beating UNC, but UNC is they're pretty stout. They got a big man.
solid
So
big man play.
that should be a fun game to watch. By the way, most of y'all didn't play this bracket challenge. I put this out there everywhere. And if you're listening and you did not do this, you're a jerk.
yeah.
You had the opportunity. I know that stimulus check just hit, and I know $1,400 is nice. And you're like, I don't need $40 for free. No, no look-sees. But at the end of this month, when you spend all that stimulus money, you want that gas tank full. You're gonna be like, man, I wish I won that bracket challenge. You had a chance and you failed.
When you blow your stimmy on Starbucks coffee and you wish you had one more frappa mocha latte, you should have filled out your fucking bracket.
For sure. You ready to switch lanes into the combat sports?
Ooh, I love combat sports.
I actually I just ordered rash guards yesterday with my stimmy money.
Hey.
I almost fucked up. Was that 12 or 13?
I think we're at 14.
14. Let's go with 14. We're not going to count these out for you. You guys can count them out for us if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm
I bought the rash guards Sanables because they're cheapies, and I almost screwed up. I was like, what colors do they have in my size? And I was like, the brown ones are cool. And then I realized that all the colors lined up with the belts.
That's your belt level, son. You gonna come in here banging like you a brown belt, looking wild.
And I was like, oh no! I was like, I almost pulled the trigger on a brown and black top, and I was like, no, we're gonna get the white top. I didn't even realize that for a second, but I'm glad I caught it.
You be in there with your little scrawny ass bare white belt with no stripes on it, and they'd be over there like, fucking, you look at this. You see this fucking guy? Who the fuck's this guy?
I'm not doing gi because of my schedule, so I have to do no gi for a while. I could do.
I like no gi better, if I'm being honest.
It's only
jam.
1 day a week. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to do it. I was trying to hype myself up because I get so tired now with the stupid heart thing, stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I did a lot of athletics before I knew about all this. And when it was happening, when I was like, man, used to rock climb for hours. Like I used to rock climb for like 10 hours sometimes.
Like damn near every day.
So I was like, man, you should really go down the rabbit hole again like that in jiu-jitsu. I was like, just go slow, just be technique oriented like you were with rock climbing, and once you start getting in shape, just drill. Because I heard one of the dudes is he likes to just call people up and have them roll with him. So I was like, well, I'll do that as long as you don't do anything weird.
Yeah.
But I got Michaela I got her a gi because she's mostly going to be available for gi training. So I got her one and a white belt. I didn't, play a joke and get her like a purple belt or something.
You didn't buy her a brown belt and just send her in there. I thought this one looked cute.
The brown shirt looked better, right? The white one looked stupid because it's too high contrast because it's black with white sleeves.
Oh, and if you're doing it right, you're going to be bleeding on that.
Nah, I'm gonna be pretty chill for probably a few months.
I like to go hard with my simulated murder.
Well, big news in the in UFC, UFC 261. The headliner is now Usman versus Masvidal. We will get into the full analytics of that. It's going to be at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida, and they will have fans. Which I was considering. I was like, man, the Stimmy money, if I just don't spend any of it, I can go get seats and go to Jacksonville. But I'm not going to do that. I really, really thought about it. It's another triple title fight card. So I'm really looking forward to that. How excited are you? I know you're pumped because George is getting his rematch.
3-piece in a fucking soda, baby. And I'm excited because I've been saying it and I'm going to keep fucking saying it. I'm not going to guarantee you that Masvidal wins that on full fight camp, but I know he's going to get back up. And we seen it in the first one. There are moments where Marty knows you can't stand and throw hands with Street Judas. Like, oh, he's not.
Yeah.
As he would call him, Street Judas, aka Street Jesus.
Ben Askren got kneed by Southwest in the choppers while sipping his coffee. He was apparently, from his words, harassed about pulling his mask back up too slowly. Apparently he's not very fast about keeping his mask on the airplane, and Southwest was not happy with him.
Is that really where we are at this fucking point? Now we're bitching about you not doing it fast enough.
Yeah. I still, Ben Askren's probably just being I could imagine Ben Askren being like that prisoner of war mentality where he's like trying to get a small victory. He's like sips on his coffee and leaves it down for a second, says a few words to the guy next to him, and then puts it up, and then like puts it up and down when nobody's looking. Yeah. Like the little kid who like drops his pencil and is always having to pick it back up just so he doesn't have to do his shit.
Flicking that bitch right off the fucking edge. Shout out to Jake Paul. That's coming up soon, right? Ben Askren, Jake Paul boxing match.
I'm not even entertaining it, to be honest.
I'm intrigued. I will say that, but we'll leave it for another day.
I just look, man. There's so much social media hype around something that's so stupid. Like Jake Paul, if you really want to fight somebody who's a fighter, either fight Ben Askren. Go ahead, get in an octagon with him and watch him trash you.
Yeah, don't do that.
But you're gonna go box this dude, and it's like, man, you're a YouTube dude, right? Like, look, I
Did they
appreciate.
come up off the Disney Channel or some soft ass shit like that?
I don't know, but like, This is gonna sound like I'm really hating on YouTubers because I'm actually trying to be one. And actually, when I really start to think about it, if someone told me, "Hey, by the way, Chris, we want to put a celebrity boxing match between you and Peso," I'd be
Peso
like,
Peso.
I'm a fight Peso." But I'm for sure not gonna sit here and be like, hmm, who's the who's somebody in my weight class who is primarily a wrestler, and I'm gonna go box him. Like,
I mean,
no,
it's a
like I'll box a rapper. I'll gain some weight and box Sauce Waka, or I'd even box you. If we could get it to where we're somewhat the same size, I would like if
uh,
that's what it, that's fine. But I'm not gonna go all of a sudden box a professional fighter to gain the clout, and he's not a striker. That's stupid.
I feel quite the contrary. I feel like this is a genius idea because the Paul
What is because
brothers.
it's money. They're gonna
Well,
make money.
yeah, well, it's money, but let's take that out of the picture for 1 second and just say the Paul brothers want to fight. They must enjoy it, or they wouldn't take all this time out of their day to train and do this, like, and really commit themselves. At least how it appears that they're committing a significant part of their lives into this training. To me, you went and did the dude that can't fight. Nate Robinson had no fucking business being in there. He got dealt with appropriately in my book. Now you're hitting the next step. It's like, I'm gonna fight a fighter who isn't known for striking, so it kind of balances out that, you know what I mean, that level. It's
But
yeah,
they
you're
won't fight
professional.
Connors, boy.
Who, Artem?
No, who's that? Who's the jujitsu dude that's always talking? Dylan Dennis.
Oh, it's because Dylan Dennis will fuck them up. But here's
Yeah,
the thing,
but they won't fight
Dennis,
Dylan.
Dylan can box though. Like, let's not sleep on Dylan Dennis.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. You chose flabby ass Ben Askren, Mister heavily concussed with a knee, with, the most lackadaisical
Fucked up hip.
attitude on the planet. That's who you're gonna box, Mister. I shadow box with just my arms.
Like, I'm also, shout out to Ben Askren. You're built worse than I am, and you're a professional fucking athlete. So thank you for that, I guess. But my thought is it's a progression, right? So you fight the Ben Askren. If that goes well, and I think like Jake Paul has a chance to put some fucking hands on, because that's just how doo-doo Askren's hands are. That, you know what I mean?
Right.
We see where you at, we see where you stand, and then like a Dylan Dennis, I think that's the next step. It's like you handle Ben Askren, you deal with him. That now it's like this Dylan fight could be real.
The only thing that I'm even slightly entertained about with this whole thing is that if Ben Askren beats him, I'm going to laugh my ass off. And I'm gonna be like, that's the difference, man. You don't fight people that fight for real.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the other end of that coin too. Is like Ben Askren fucking puts a stank on him. This whole Paul brother boxing shit is now came to a screeching halt. Like, we're done. We don't want to see you fight no more at that point. At least I don't.
Yeah, to me that's like putting me in there with Mighty Mouse. You know what I mean? Like, Mighty Mouse is gonna eat me up. But let's just say I've been training in, you sent me
Yeah.
off to Thailand for 2 years, and you had me learn how to, beat people.
Yeah, if
Like,
we had you 6 hours a day in the heathen den working on your hands, like, we'll put you in there. We'll see what
yeah,
happens.
and I think I could do okay. Against, like, if that was the way it went. But like I said, we're talking about a dude who trains all around. We're talking about a dude who likes to wrestle fuck people. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah. Did
like I
you
said,
see Askren hitting the fucking heavy bag in that little video he posted?
no.
Oh my god, that looked like worse than Michael Higgins at Keesler Air Force Base, and that's the worst shit I've ever seen in my whole life.
I did see John Jones hitting the pads the other day.
Looking stout.
John Jones is getting big.
That man.
It's weird.
Fucking
His
thick.
skinny legs are still, they look skinny comparatively to his body, but they're like a third of the size bigger than what they were. It's just weird. It's like the muscle tone is what makes it look so skinny.
It's wild because his calves are so small, and then once you get to his thighs, it's just like, whoop, and his fucking hamstrings and his quads are just busting. But his fucking, like, as soon as you get to the bottom of that knee, it's just like sticks.
He's gonna hurt people. Fury versus Joshua, 2-fight deal. First one 50-50 split, and second one 60-40. It's a 2-fight deal. Fury versus Joshua, and Tyson Fury says that he hasn't been training at all, and that he's just been drinking.
Oh, we're doing this again? We're doing this again?
Pretty much.
Well, here's my prediction. 2-fight deal. Anthony Joshua's people, I'm pretty sure the ones that put it in there, because they already know it's fucking up. Anthony Joshua cannot box with Tyson Fury. And I think even a drunk, lazy Tyson Fury still outboxes Joshua to a decision, but it'll be a 12-rounder. Because what he'll do is he'll take a round here, take a round there, and keep it going. But then I feel like it's not going to be the showing that he wants, the people wants, and hopefully he takes it serious, and we see, kind of like with Wilder, see somebody get put the fuck down in the second one. But in my mind, Anthony Joshua is built like a Greek fucking god. Yeah, he beat the Klitschko dog, you know what I mean? The fucking reigning dog in the court. But you ducked fights with Fury. You've ducked fights with Wilder. Ruiz fucking put you out. Like, then the only downfall I think with Andy Ruiz is he got fucking lazy after he won the strap, got fat, you know what I mean? Got dealt with. I just don't think Anthony Joshua is on the same tier as a Tyson Fury. And like 2-fight deal, I don't think he wins. Can't see it happening.
Yeah, I hope the Gypsy King, I hope he wins. I like Tyson Fury. Speaking of Greek god, we got one more segment of the show to go. And it's one of my favorites. It is the fun fact of the week. I had the idea that I was going to give you a real bombshell, but I don't think many people are going to make it this far into the show. So I'm gonna give you guys a soft one. This is going to sound crazy, right? So fun fact, since we're sticking with superpowers, there's a genetic disorder associated with the protein myostatin. Myostatin inhibits inhibits muscle growth, right?
Yeah.
So if you have the genetic trait that makes it to where your body doesn't produce myostatin, you get thick as a mofo.
Ooh.
So basically, you can be super super jacked as like a baby, like as a small kid. Like, remember that kid who was jacked? Like, you look like that.
A little Asian kid.
No, I remember there was a white kid that did it. But research is being done in this realm of science to possibly help with muscular dystrophy, right? People that have an issue with their muscle growth, maybe on the other end. And I know what this sounds like, right? You're like, hey, these guys are super jacked. They're going to be super strong, right?
That's where my mind's going.
That's the interesting thing. So they've tested on mice, and apparently mice with after they've inhibited the myostatin, they do get jacked, but they don't get strong.
Interesting. What's happening there?
Because apparently the muscle fibers are not any stronger. It's just more volume.
So you just have more muscle, but your muscle like density and all that, you're not getting stronger.
Now, some of y'all, this is exactly what you want in your life, right? So I know a lot of y'all that just want to look big for the ladies or the men's, whatever you prefer.
No fucking go.
They just want to look big. Good news is that since you don't care about performance, it doesn't really matter that WADA has banned it, right? Because basically WADA says that athletes will abuse this, and they probably would.
Definitely.
But apparently it doesn't really help with strength. So
that's wild.
Yeah, it's not super strength, although it sounded like super strength. It's just super aesthetics. So that's pretty funny.
Is this available to me in like any type of like vaccine form? Because, you know, I've been thinking about getting my OnlyFans popping, and this could help out a lot.
Well, I think if anybody would deserve whatever chemical I can use to inhibit myostatin, it would be me, man.
Trying to get to something to do something.
But no, after I got married, I'm way more okay with being skinny. I just want to learn how to fight. That's it's
Yeah.
I don't really care
Jiu-jitsu.
about how big I am.
Jiu-jitsu, my guy.
Um, well, that's all I have for the show. Did you have anything extra that you wanted to bring to the table?
No, nothing really. Not Your Baby Daddy podcast. Having some logistical issues, so keep looking for that. No set date, but we'll get to it at some point.
So, on my end, the Permission to Speak Freely podcast, which is going to be in association with Left Hooks Are Free. Permission to Speak Freely is going to be done with my buddy Andy Feichter. Andy and I are planning on putting out the first episode right around the 1st of April.
Ooh.
So you can look forward to that. I have a bunch of leave I'm taking, and I'm going to be researching. And I think, did we decide on if we're going to do that Thursday recording next week? Or are we going to do it live?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it live in the Beige Keep, ladies and gentlemen.
I still got to run it over with the wife, but I'm pretty sure she would be okay with me going out there. I kind of want to go out there because that's the weekend of the Stipe fight. I kind of want to go out there and watch the fight, but I also don't want to leave my wife hanging.
It's a
So
balance.
we'll figure out what happens with that. But yeah, the Permission to Speak Freely, we are still trying to mull over the ideas of exactly what we're going to talk about. I think the first episode, we're going to talk about the fact that pretty much all the videos that you see, all the content that you have on military training is like a veil of awesomeness. We're just gonna let you guys know that the idea that we're all hard and trained badasses is kind of a lie. You've been lied to. So
Looking
coming
further.
soon.
I'm excited for that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna start from the top. That's gonna be the goal, and then we're gonna see where this goes. So it should be a lot of fun. If you guys have seen the Jocko podcast, we're trying to make it the anti-Jocko podcast. All right. As much as I love what Jocko's doing, it's really hard to take advice from a Navy SEAL. As much as you guys want to, you guys are not Navy SEAls, and you guys will not be Navy SEAls. If you are it's kind of like how the smartest dude you know most often can't get into Stanford or Harvard. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what the Navy SEALs is. It's like the smartest, the most in shape guy you know probably can't be a SEAL.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on. Either you can't take it mentally, or you can't. Your body might just break. You know what I mean? How many guys fall out for that?
It's literally one of the hardest things you can do. You can have the stars have to be so aligned. But we're gonna get into that. I appreciate you guys' time. Left hooks are free. Right hooks are always half off. It's been a great show. Always like and subscribe. And I leave that for the end. And I just want you guys to subscribe just because we need 1,000 subscribers in order to go platinum. That's not a thing in YouTube, but we're going to call it going platinum.
I've always wanted to go platinum.
You just want to, by the way, Mike Perry, my boy, wants to fight you. That's still on the table.
Platinum Mike. I seen you talking shit, Mike. I assume you're talking to me. I'll make a hefty assumption. You're saying all these regular ass folk out here don't know what it's like to be a real fighter. Well, pull up to the Beige Keep and see me, son. Little bitch ass boy. I'm done playing with you.
I appreciate that. And also the set is gonna look different next week. Stimmy-Pak is going to enhance. The audio should be enhanced. I should sound cleaner, and the aesthetics of this room should get a smidge better. I have changes in lighting, changes in the desk. This shaky ass desk is gonna go away. It's gonna look cool, man. This is gonna be fun. I'm excited.
I'm ready for it.
Left hooks are free. We are growing. The cream rises to the top. Left hooks are free. Right hooks are always half off. We are done for the day. Close it out.
Come taste this cream. Hey.